What's going on? What's going on, guys? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Let me take this off. Music. Come on in. I'm here Thursday night, guys. Fight some people. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, and I'm on my dream big. What's up? What's up, man? What's up? What's going on? I wanted to talk about. I didn't even mean to put you over here. I was touching things, everything. But yeah, just want to talk about the whole situation, man. And just like what the title says, are we letting our children as a community? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, and as I said before, as I want to bring it down, I'm bringing it down to a situation where I want to make it about myself. I want to make it about just this whole thing, and how, what are we doing to our young men, especially? What are we doing? Like in the area, which is New London, Connecticut, it shouldn't be like this. You know what I'm saying? It should be more things going on, meaning more events for children, more things for them to not get lost. Because as we talk about all the time, it's easy for a small town kid to get lost than it will be a city kid. And like, it broke my heart because that kid was one of my favorite kids, that I coached, really.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to say his name, but he's still a young guy and stuff like that. Who we talking about? No. But what are we doing what are we really going to do to change this? Instead of worrying about all these other things that really don't matter.
Well, my opinion, like, what are we gonna do to change what's happening to these kids, not just in this town, but a lot of towns across America?
Mm-hmm.
The culture. I was talking to Big Bro, you know what I'm talking about. I was talking to him today, and we were talking about the music that these kids are listening to. First you gotta understand the music that they listening to is produced by I'm trying to think of the right word to use, but the Zionists, maybe these record labels they're not ran by us.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely.
They're ran by people who live in suburban America.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically they're culture vultures.
Absolutely.
So, when artist comes in and says, I want to make some music about political. No, we don't want to hear that. We're gonna give you 100,000 or 200,000 or 300,000, which is pennies on a dollar to them.
Yeah.
To make music about violence, because they know that the kids want to hear that. They don't want to hear anything positive. They want to hear negative, because that's what TV glorifies is negative. You know what I mean? So they want to be the next ghosts, or they want to be just the next killer or the next robber, not the first doctor, not the first lawyer. And it's and like you said, in a small town, a lot of kids don't think like that because of the small town mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you saying, oh, are we letting down our kids? I would have to say 50% of that, I say yes. And the other 50%, I say it's society.
Right.
Society is letting kids down. But does society even really care about children? Black children at that? No.
Absolutely not.
So, you know, in my home, I have a son, 18 years old, and him and that kid was friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
My son's taking his hard.
Yep.
As a father, you know, I have to preach to my son. He hates that I preach to him. He gets in the car, he's like, "Oh, Dad, I don't want to hear this right now," but that's
Right.
okay because I still say what I got to say
Yep. Yep.
because it might not recollect to him now. But it'll recollect to him 10 years from now, 5 years, 20 years from now. Soraya, excuse me. Can you be
That's not.
quiet? You know, so I have to keep going at him.
Yeah. Absolutely. They
Um,
they they need it.
I go after him, I go after his friends, and one of his friends is in here right now. And he'll tell you. I
Yep.
get on all my son's friends. I want to know what their future is, what they plan on doing, how
Yeah.
they plan on doing it. And if I don't agree with it, I say, that may not be a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So me personally as an individual, I just try to attack every kid that I know that gets close to me. I knew this kid. I would see him on the street.
Yeah.
I would pull over, and
Yep.
my lady would say, "Honey, why you always pulling over these kids and this, that, and the other?" I say, "Well, maybe they're not hearing what they need to hear at home. Maybe they're not hearing what they need to hear from their friends. You know what I'm saying?"
Or,
So,
or from their coaches, from their teachers.
I,
You
I
know.
I don't think that we're letting anyone down. It's just that everyone has to be a part of the problem. You just can't see these kids on the street and they go home or jump on Facebook, and be screaming, "Oh, I'm here for these kids," or this, that. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
can't be scared of it. I see kids trust me, my kids will tell you. I see kids on the street that I know are into trouble,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I'll pull over, I'll get out of my car and be like, "Yo, what are you doing, man?" You know how many kids I've seen on the street?
Yep.
And I'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing out here, man?" Or what are y'all doing hanging over here? This is over here. This is going over here. Y'all need to go home or go towards your house more or less.
Yeah.
Go on your porch.
Right.
They'd be like, "Oh, man, all right, man. We chilling, man. We chilling out here." But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's all I can do.
And that's us. That's stuff that most of us our age is not doing. You know, I see it all the time by people our age that glorify things like what's the guy's name that getting out of prison? Smurder, Bobby Smurder. I saw that 100 times today. Like, and by grown folks, not just the kids. It's like we put things on a pedestal that shouldn't be on a pedestal. And I hear people say this all the time. I'm not the first one to say this. And it's like, what is like, why can't we do what you do? Stop the car, you know, let the kids know what's going on. I'm watching you because a lot of these kids just want attention. Uh,
They're
you
lacking attention.
Yeah, they lacking this attention. Exactly what you said. They lacking this attention,
Mm.
and we use these situations not to understand that we are adults now. We are the so-called old heads.
Exactly.
We have to, like, when we was growing up, it was men that was telling us what's going on and everything, but it was kind of lost too, because we at the age that we grew up in what you call it, the crack epidemic. A lot of people was going nuts.
Here's something I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you. Don't forget, we also grew up in an era where, and again, I'm gonna go back to this. The
yeah,
culture was different. Okay,
yeah,
we grew up with likes of in music, Public Enemy,
yeah,
De La Soul.
yeah.
You know, our rappers wasn't preaching
Death.
kill, kill, kill. They wasn't holding big stacks of money to their ear and glorifying crime and drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
I mean,
mean,
think of KRS-One,
yeah,
Eric B. and Rakim.
yeah,
In the 90s. In the 90s kind of switched a little bit. But when I was in the 80s,
yeah,
I
yeah,
grew up, we had, what
yeah.
was that song they had?
Self-destruction.
Self-Destruction.
Yeah, I knew you saw me. Yep, yep. Yep. And you're absolutely right. If we were like in the 90s, it started to get it like that a little bit, but it was certain rappers. It was certain rappers that was talking about murder, murder, death, death, death. Most rappers told stories, told situations where you have to get yourself in a positive situation.
Yeah.
If I can do it, you can do it in their own way.
Let me say something. The rappers in our era, when they rap about anything violence, it was actually what they were doing. A lot of these rappers, I wouldn't say a lot of them, but some rappers they'll rap about things that they started doing or thought they were doing in their head,
Right,
and they
right.
glorifying it, and that they really may not have been doing it at a high scale. You
Absolutely.
understand?
Absolutely.
And I just don't think these kids of this generation know how to look at that and say, you know what, this could be fake. Let me just be my own man.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And what you gonna do when you don't have like? And I'm not saying the kid, because he had his family, the young man that passed away, that I really don't want to say his name, just to let
That's
people
cool.
know
Yeah.
they're just coming in. His mother and father seemed like they was a close knit family. I look like a close knit family. So I'm not talking about particularly him. When I'm talking about this in general, because I don't speak on just one person. I try to generalize in a good
Of
manner,
course.
have a productive conversation. When you don't have a strong like parents, when you don't have parents, when you have parents that's trying to be your best friend, when you have parents that's trying to be as young as you don't have no structure. Most kids I know, when I was coaching in Hartford,
Mm.
those kids respected structure because they didn't have it at home. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of parents our age or a little bit younger sometimes don't understand that. Structure is not about beating their ass. Structure is about asking how your homework. Did you do your homework? Let me go to the teacher's parents. If, let's say you work a lot, go there at least once every couple of months. Understanding your child. If your child have like let's say mental health problems, get into his life or her life even more. Don't leave it on people. Don't just leave it on the teachers, the coaches. You can't even do it like that no more. My grandmother, real quick, my grandmother used to tell me, you like if I no man in my life, she used to say any man that's in your life that's trying to give you positive words or what have you, and it's a good mentor, you stick by that man. It's not like that with a lot of our women, like, and a lot of our men. It's not like that. Everybody say, "This my baby." You don't tell me what you my baby. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest
Baby,
problem.
my baby.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And you hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. It's a huge problem. And the structure is breaking down more and more because we got adults uh, like promoting degeneracy as well. So what we gonna do with our children? What sports ain't just people got to stop just putting sports in these kids' heads.
Well, I said this earlier
Mm-hmm.
um on Ruben's post. I said parents need to start taking their kids to church, or at least give them some spirituality.
Oh my God.
Um,
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
just because you're laying around smoking a blunt or drinking some beer, don't mean you can't give your kids some spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Kids have to know that there's a higher power. You know what I'm saying? You just can't depend on the society to have your kids correct. You understand what I'm saying? Like you got to do it yourself. It's all about the parent and what the parent is doing. I don't care if it's church. I said I don't care if it's church, the mosque, the synagogue, whatever the case, whatever you feel
Whatever.
comfortable in. Give your kids a little bit of spirituality.
Exactly. Do you think what another question? Do you think it's a child a village raising a child is way more important than it ever was before? Do you think that term and how it used to be when we was actually growing up, and like more probably before our time?
Let me tell you. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you about that. I had a conversation with someone earlier about villages.
yeah.
People could say village, yeah, but are you implementing it? It has to be implemented. You just
Mm-hmm.
can't say it. It has to be implemented.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
24/7 job.
Yeah, but absolutely. It's
You,
absolutely. I agree 100%.
it's important. It's important if it's implemented.
Yes. It, and it's implemented by culture. Our culture is to be like our own individual. You know, it's to be individualized. Like, okay, this is my family. Don't say shit to my family. No nothing.
No.
Yeah? And
I'm gonna tell you what I tried when my son was coming up and he was in sports and stuff. And and here's the thing: culture is one word, but it branches off into different sectors.
mhm.
So a culture here where we live at, I'm gonna tell you something I tried, and kids still to this day do it to me. But the kids who do it to me are the kids that I see have progressed more than kids who continue to do what I asked them not to do. I
Right,
don't allow, and a lot of kids will tell you this about me. I did not allow kids to come up to me and shake my hand with just a regular dap. I
right.
would tell kids, shake my hand like a man. Okay, don't give me all this dap and hugging me and all that. That's not for you to do. You're a little kid. You're 9, 10, 11, 12. That is a problem in our community in New London. And I see it all the time
All the time.
between men and boys. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this to every man in this community, New London community. Stop shaking these kids, these boys' hands like you, they friend. You shake their hand like a man because they're going to respect you like a man.
Absolutely.
You understand? I have a lot of kids will tell you that about me. They do not, unless you really, really know me and you're close to my son, I
Yeah.
might do that with you. But kids who don't know me on a regular, I want them to shake my hand like a man. Shake my hand. Give me a handshake, a real handshake. My daughter
And,
will show
and,
you.
and,
See,
and,
like this,
and-
right? Like
yeah,
that. Like that.
just like
Shake my
that.
hand. Stop giving these, listen, stop giving these boys who are not your equal the brother dap. Let's call it the brother dap, which, the brother dap. Oh, what's good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No.
It's straight up.
Don't even shake my son's hand that way.
Yeah,
Because my son is not your equal. Even
yeah,
at 18, he's not your equal.
exactly.
I see it all the time. But when I see it, I'll be like, that's why in New London culture, that's why there's no respect between man and boy, because the boys think they the man.
It,
Because you treat them like a man, like yourself. They are not a man, they are little boys.
especially black boys and black men. Especially.
You
And
want to talk about are we to blame?
yeah,
In a sense, yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because a lot of us don't distinct ourselves between man and boy. A lot of men are not even men themselves.
I talk about manhood, and I get hit in the head verbally. I get like I'm this and that when I talk about manhood, trying to
Listen,
discover.
let
I
me tell you
try to
something. Let me tell you something. If a man is talking about manhood to another man and he gets offended, then he ain't a man himself. I don't
absolutely,
give a fuck who you are. I
absolutely,
said it.
absolutely. It's like you know, is it a problem that patriarchy to come back to the black community like it was 60 years ago? Is that a real problem? Don't you understand? We're losing our young boys because you want to wait. You want the woman to take over your household and be the leader. Is that a problem? It's okay for both of us to, make the decisions because this is what the world we in.
Mm.
But it's literally men out there, males out there that really don't understand that they supposed to be that leader. They
Well,
supposed to make those decisions.
the reason behind that, there's a reason behind that.
Hmm?
Because a lot of men were raised just by their mothers.
Absolutely, such as myself and me. I was raised by my mother 98% of the time. I had to grow up. I listened to Kevin Samuel, and just like a lot of other people do, and he said, I had to develop as a man. Yes, I had to develop as a man. Hell yeah. I was 30, I was 33, 33 years old, and I'm saying to myself, wait. I'm not doing stuff that a man should do. I had to check myself many a times. I had to go see a therapist. I had to do a lot of things to change my situation. And yeah, you could be not raised with a man, but you better find your manhood, because
You gotta find your manhood.
because the things that we are doing, like how we making decisions, emotional decisions, that leads to us. Personalized playlists so you can conquer the workday. You know, YouTube Music Premium.
It's 9 o'clock. Yeah. Go upstairs. Excuse me, Cousin.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So, making those decisions, those emotional decisions. It's been plenty of times where I have myself in a situation where, oh my God, and I don't back at it like somebody could have blown my damn head off because I'm acting highly emotional.
Right.
I'm acting like I'm a 5'2", 120-pound woman. And I had to develop. Being so I had real strong men in my life, my uncles, my godfather, but I'm saying like a steady father figure in the household.
Right.
No, I didn't have that. I had to learn these things. Even listening to my best friends that actually grew up with their father, I had to look at them and say, damn, they're a little bit different than how I grew up. I had to look at their father.
You're very observant. Good thing you were very observant. Yeah, because
absolutely.
You took that and you utilized it in your own life.
Right.
Yeah, that's smart, man. That's smart. Not many people are able to do that. A lot of people just comfortable just being, and no disrespect to anyone.
No disrespect.
But a lot of dudes just grow up being comfortable, just being under their mother's wing. Yeah. And if you're under your mother's wing, some way, somehow, you gotta find your own manhood, man. It's not easy.
Absolutely.
You did it, and if you did it, a lot of people can do it. And I maybe it's time that, men like yourself and myself and Ruben, a couple of other good brothers running around, really, really, really have to put the boots on the ground and hit the pavement and grab these kids up who we know and can identify that are missing or may miss manhood, because manhood is an important part of life.
It's extremely important.
If you're not learning anything about manhood, you're gonna miss out a big piece of your life. And I mean, I'm talking about you got to start from the ages of 5 and up.
Yeah.
If a kid can read, then we need to start snatching these kids up off the street and doing something, man. And let me just tell you, money was raised for this boy. In one day, over $12,000 was raised in one day. To help this family out.
Good, definitely.
Who's to say we can't raise that type of money? Maybe not in a day, but a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to help kids out, to have different programs, different things to do, going out on camping trips, bro, it's possible. Mm-hmm. You understand? Absolutely. And you can set around we can set aside time to sit on Instagram or Facebook or drink a beer or smoke a joint or whatever the case may be, whatever your poison or whatever you decide to do on your own personal time. You can put aside personal time to help out a few kids, man. I'm telling you, man, it's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard.
Not, and it's like and I feel as though, and the young guy, I talked to my lady, and I was like, it's like I ain't do enough. I blame myself.
Don't blame yourself, though.
Because the way the kid, I really had some kind of, because I was his position coach, and we had several conversations.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like all the stuff that I'll tell you that I have a situation where we do book clubs. We go to different, what you call that, museums. Why can't we raise that money instead of raising money for somebody for horrible reason. We raising the money to better these young men, and we should start doing that. This is the only priority we should really be having, other than taking care of our own families.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because if we keep on putting in the position in the black woman's hands, like letting her do everything,
No
that's not
disrespect to the
manhood.
black woman though.
Huh?
No disrespect to the black woman,
Oh,
but
no
they
disrespect
can't.
to black
They
women.
black
She
women
need,
can't raise a boy.
yeah, she need help.
Yeah, my
And,
father always used to say that.
yeah, she need, no matter what society tells her. As you can see in the black community, our sisters need help. And
Yeah,
if these brothers thinking that it's all good to have, a situation where they're not in the kids' life. I don't know their situation, but from my situation, I know I had to do what I had to do, no matter what my kid's mother was saying. You know what I'm saying? No matter what she said,
yeah,
I know I had to be in my son and daughter's life.
yeah. No matter what.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Because
another issue. Another dude, a lot of dudes like that emotional stuff. Or when I see it all the time, man.
yep,
People, man, they get emotional because you ain't with the kid's mother no more, and then they walk away not only from the mother, but they walk away from the kids too. B, let
oh,
me tell you something. When me and my ex first broke up, I took that shit hard.
yeah,
Okay,
hmm,
I took it hard.
right,
I could have said, you know what? Oh, you don't want to be with me? Fine, I'm leaving you and the kids.
right,
There was nights where I just laid and just stared at my kids, but they were with
yep,
me though.
hmm,
I didn't
yep,
walk away from them.
yep,
That is part of the problem too. A lot of dudes emotional and they take whatever their situation is with the kid's mother and walk away from the whole situation. Can't do that.
you can, because
My
first of
father
all,
used to always. This is what my father used to always tell me, and it stuck to me.
hmm,
And he was 100. He said, and I want people to listen, and I want people to share this. You say it, make a Facebook post out of it, whatever the case may you want to do.
right,
My dad would always tell me, your kids are your assets. If you don't have any assets, you don't have anything.
absolutely, I agree
And he was
100%.
100% right because you know what? Now my son 18, my daughter's 16, my
Hmm,
other daughter, my stepdaughter's 21. You know,
hmm,
they ain't the best kids, but they ain't the worst kids.
absolutely. Cutting out real quick. He got it. He coming in. Hold on 1 second. Got it refreshing. I guess he got to put it in. Hey, just like he said, he's absolutely right. Hopefully he'll come back in, but he's absolutely right. It's situations there where your kids are your assets, and when more and more brothers start to realize that, start to understand this, I think it'd be a whole lot. I think it'd be a better situation. You know, structure is extremely important, and kids, with they might not tell you that, but they want it. I don't know no child that I ever coached or no, I don't know many children, I should say, that I ever coached that didn't want any type of structure. Developing our children is the best thing we can do. You understand? And it's the most important thing that we can do. And, if things got to get better. So I'm hoping to team up with a lot of local men in the area, and we just do things ourselves instead of worry about worrying about politicians and stuff like that standing in our way. If we could we can get in order when it's time to bury a young boy or a young girl. We should be able to do things to be inspirational to these children. You know, and doing things that just more than sports. Just making sure these kids are good. Getting them off the streets is the best way as possible. And just like my homeboy said, you got to start doing this when they start reading. That is just that early. You can't wait till a child is uh, 15, 16 years old. A lot of times it's too late, especially in this society when everybody's entitled, even adults, you know. So again, I'm going to be willing to do that, to put, to get programs for, not just sports programs, and I don't want just sports programs. I want way more. I want what you call I want a situation where we have a book club. We have all these different entities, going to museums, taking, trips together, just learning about different things, maybe anything, and I think that's